Your business isn't stuck because of the market, it's stuck because of you. You started this venture with a grand vision. You wanted freedom, scale, impact. Now look at your calendar. It's a colorful, chaotic monument to busy work. You are drowning in emails, wrestling with invoices, manually updating spreadsheets, and packing orders. You're not the CEO, you're the chief everything officer, the most expensive intern on your team. You proudly tell people you work 70 hours a week, and secretly, you think that grueling effort is the proof of your dedication. Let me tell you a harsh truth that will shatter that ego. Your addiction to operational tasks is not dedication. It is an elaborate form of corporate procrastination. You are actively avoiding the one thing that will actually grow your business: high-level, uncomfortable, strategic thinking. It's easier to answer an email, an immediate, tangible task that gives you a tiny dopamine hit of completion, than it is to sit down and figure out your next 3-year strategy. Your mind is escaping the difficult, messy work of innovation by diving into the familiar, predictable rhythm of the to-do list. This is the comfort of control. You created the processes, so you're the best at them. You know exactly where the supply chain bottleneck is. You're the only one who truly understands that specific customer service script. So you cling to these tasks, telling yourself, it would take me longer to train someone else to do it than it would take for me to just do it myself. This is the lie that is keeping you poor and trapped. Here's your first shocking truth. The cost of your cheap labor is the opportunity cost of your visionary labor. Every hour you spend doing a $15 per hour task is an hour you are effectively stealing from the $1,000 per hour work you should be doing. The work that multiplies your revenue, secures new partnerships, or completely re-architects your business model. You're losing money every time you fold a box. You've built yourself a golden cage of competence. You're so good at the low-level tasks that you've become indispensable in the worst possible way. You are the bottleneck. Your business cannot grow beyond your own 24 hours in a day because you refuse to delegate the very systems you built. The path to scale is paved with the jobs you refuse to do. You need to shift your identity. You are not a doer, you are a designer. Your job is no longer to be the best worker. Your job is to be the best system architect and culture leader. That means creating the system, documenting the process, hiring the replacement, and then walking away. The clear takeaway here is this: your primary task is to identify and eliminate all tasks that don't directly require your unique visionary intellect. Hire your replacement today.
You think the problem is just your time management. It's not. The second stage of the scale struggle is a deeply relational and emotional one. I call it the two-body problem. You have created a system where your employees, contractors, and partners, your team body, are perpetually waiting for the approval, clarification, or instruction of the owner body. That's you. They submit the invoice, they wait for your okay. They finish the customer query, they wait for your next move. Every micro decision is funneled directly to your desk, creating a permanent, crippling backlog. Here is your next harsh insight. You are subconsciously training your team to be incompetent because you refuse to trust them with failure. Every time you swoop in to fix a mistake, re-edit a document, rewrite an email, or manually correct a shipping label, you are sending a clear, toxic message. I do not trust your judgment. My way is the only acceptable way. This generates a team of people who are afraid to make decisions, afraid to take ownership, and afraid to even try to do the job well because they know you'll just override them anyway. They learn to wait for your command, turning your potential lieutenants into passive order takers. This is where the humorous yet tragic irony of the solopreneur mindset hits. You hired people to reduce your workload, and you've inadvertently tripled it by turning yourself into a full-time, highly paid bottleneck. You have created a business that can only move at the speed of your personal exhaustion. The cure for this is painful but mandatory. You must delegate the decision, not just the task. When you delegate the task of sending the newsletter, you are still holding the key decision points, the content, the time, the segmentation. When you delegate the decision to own the newsletter strategy and execution, you are telling that person, you are responsible for the outcome and you have my full permission to fail small and learn fast. This requires building a framework of trust that most founders can't stomach. It means accepting that your team will do things differently than you would, and that they will, inevitably, make a mistake that might cost you $50 or even $500. That cost is not a loss. It is the price of their education, and it is the single most valuable investment you can make in your company's future. You need to establish what I call guardrails of acceptable failure. Define the 3 things they cannot mess up, e.g. hitting the legal compliance, overspending the budget, or outright insulting a customer. Everything else, let them learn by doing. When they come to you with a question, don't give them the answer. Ask them, what do you recommend? Force the decision-making power back into their hands. The takeaway? Stop trying to clone yourself. Start trusting your team to be better than you are at the specific, repeatable tasks you hired them for.
You've fired yourself from the tactical day-to-day tasks. You've given your team the power to fail and the mandate to decide. Congratulations, you've hit the 3rd most persistent emotional barrier, the golden cage. The business is running without you in the weeds. The processes are flowing, money is still coming in. And you, the founder, are sitting at your desk, staring at a blank wall, suddenly feeling useless, bored, and guilty. You've achieved the freedom you craved, but now your internal monologue is attacking you. If they can do it without me, what am I even for? Am I still necessary? Is the business better without my hands-on touch? Here is the final, most sophisticated truth you must confront. Your self-worth is currently tied to your busyness, not your leverage. You've been rewarded emotionally and financially for heroic effort. You are conditioned to believe that your value is proven by your visible labor. The quiet, uncomfortable, high-stakes work of strategic thinking feels lazy by comparison. You desperately want to jump back into operations, to check the data, to tweak the ad copy, just to feel important again. Resist that urge. It's the ego's final desperate attempt to pull you back into the comfortable cage. The shift you need to make is from a metric of effort to a metric of leverage. What is the single highest impact thing you can do today that will have the biggest ripple effect on your business in 6 months? It's not answering 10 emails. It's securing 1 key partnership. It's researching and defining the next 3 products. It's spending 4 hours defining the hiring criteria for your next C-level executive. These tasks are high leverage. They multiply your energy. The biggest secret of the truly wealthy is that they spend 90% of their time on tasks where the ROI is exponential, not linear. They're not getting paid per hour, they're getting paid for decisions that move millions. You must adopt this mindset now, while the business is small, so it can scale with you. Think about it humorously. Your job now is to be the chief boredom officer. You are paid to sit in silence, consume information, and occasionally whisper 1 crucial high-leverage direction that changes the trajectory of the entire company. Your silence is now more valuable than your shouting. Your reflection is more valuable than your reaction. To combat the guilt of being useless, introduce a strict new metric for yourself, the 10x rule. Before you touch any task, ask yourself, if I do this, will it result in a 10x return on the time I invested, or can it be 10x better if someone else does it? If the answer is anything but the former, you must delegate it or delete it. The punchline is the final slap of truth and challenge. Your job is no longer to run the machine, it is to design a faster machine. Stop clinging to the comfort of your old role. Embrace the terrifying, world-changing power of sitting still and thinking. Firing yourself from operations is the only way to hire yourself as a visionary.